Hi, I'm Kat, and in 2021, Mel from a book feed named Mel tagged me to do the Do You Know Your Slang book tag. And here we are 2 years later. So, short answer, yes, I do know my slang. I was one of the people who used the term trash and confused Mel in the first place. But we're still gonna do the tag anyway. But before we begin, a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Galaxy Press. Look at me getting sponsors. Galaxy Press was kind enough to choose me to promote and review L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future Volume 39. If you've never heard of Writers of the Future before, it is an annual sci-fi fantasy competition for writers and illustrators, and the winners get their story or art published in the anthology. There's 12 stories where the winners were chosen by a panel of authors, including Brandon Sanderson. There's also a couple of other stories by writers, including one by L. Ron Hubbard, and a few essays with advice for writing and art. As of filming this, I'm about 3/4 of the way through, and the problem with short story collections is that you read a story and then you start getting invested in those characters, and then the story ends. Excuse me, I need to know more. I need to know what happens with the kitsunes, and I need to know more about where that vampire girl and that dragon went after the story ends. What happened on that weird spaceship thing with the mural? I need to know. I am enjoying it, and I would recommend it if you want to find short sci-fi and fantasy stories. And there's 39 volumes, so like the chance of you finding something that you like is very high. I will put links in the description. Thank you, Galaxy Press. Now onto the tag. So basically there are 8 words, and I need to give the definition of what I think they are, and then talk about a book that fits with the explanation of that word. And seeing as how I do know what every word means, I'm not guessing. So they're just gonna go with what the actual words are. I was so shook. Like, that ending, it got me so bad. Shook means you're shook. I'm gonna be terrible at explaining these things because I'm like, the word says what it means. You're like, shook is shocked. And to this day, I am still shook by this one. I don't have the dust jacket on it, so you get to see this. Could open it up. Here we go. This one. Yeah. Empire of Storms. I'm not going to spoil it. It feels weird. Okay, I did buy this one cheap, so it moves. Should not touch it too much. But yeah, to this day, still shook by it. I finished it at like 9 p.m. and then I was still awake at 2 a.m. just thinking about it. And this one particular sentence right at the end, if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, they're my favorite ship. They're so adorable together. Ship is like characters that you ship. And so they're like, they're a relationship. And it can be inclusive of or like just under your OTP. So one of my OG ships is Rose and Dimitri from Vampire Academy, because of course I adore both of the characters and I love them together. Oh, and I'm realizing that I haven't said what the books are about, but they're really big books, so I hope you know. Empire of Storms is book 5 in the Throne of Glass series. High fantasy. Nah. Vampire Academy is about a academy of vampires.
Wow.
Oh, I 100% stan them. You stan someone or something or a character. The word came from Eminem's song Stan, where Stan was an obsessive fan of his, so Stan became known as being an obsessive fan of something. And I stan Rochelle Mead. Love Rochelle Mead. I wish she was as active on the interwebs as she used to be, but she barely pops up anymore. She popped up a little bit when the TV show for Vampire Academy came out and then disappeared again. I just also really want book 3 in the Age of X series. Oh, that's such a sweet, pure cinnamon roll. Cinnamon rolls are too sweet and too perfect for this world. They're just like your really sweet and adorable characters. And the term came from a headline of someone wrote an article about a cinnamon roll that was too sweet and too perfect for this world. We are just gonna keep this to cinnamon roll with a C, cinnamon roll with an S, something different. And I am choosing the boys from Heartstopper. Both of them, cinnamon rolls. You know what? Just like everyone in this series is a cinnamon roll. They are just super adorable and I love them and I want to protect them all. Too pure for this world. That was the other word. Too sweet, too perfect, too pure for this world. I am such trash for that. Trash, you are trash for somebody or something. You're just a really big fan of them and would like do anything for them, or they're like auto buy, they could like do anything, they could publish anything, or they could just be whoever and you would still be a fan of them. Though they do have like limits obviously. But going back to the way that I originally confused Mel, I am Sarah J Maas trash. Obviously. I will read anything this woman puts out and devour it. I adore all of her books. Though there's one I haven't read, but all of her fantasy books. Still just like, well, like a lot salty about that. It's the opposite of sweet now, isn't it? Salty, bitter, same. And I am still salty about the way Allegiant ended. That book ruined me. And I went through my stages of grief and I just stayed in bitterness / saltiness. I just replaced the last acceptance with saltiness. We'll never get over it. Shouldn't have happened. 100% that party was so lit. Lit is a word that I don't actually hear used that much these days. But like lit, fire. Like it's popping off, it's great, it's a good time. It's lit. I'm gonna go Daisy Jones and the Six. I bet you they had some lit parties. And also just the book and the TV show is lit because I love it. Okay, yes, sit, tell me everything. Spill the tea. Spill the tea. It's like gossip. And a book that is literally just a woman spilling the tea the entire time. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. She spilled all the tea. And once again, I realized I went back to not explaining what the books are about. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Old movie star actress had 7 husbands and her life was very secret, and then in her like, I don't know, I think she's like in her 80s or something, she decides to have a book written about her. Daisy Jones and the Six, band called Daisy Jones and the Six, and they were like really mega famous for a bit and then suddenly broke up and they get interviewed 40 years later. The TV show, it's 20 years later. Allegiant, 3rd book in the Divergent series, YA dystopian about a world where everyone's cut into factions and they just see how that works, literally. Heartstopper, cute as graphic novel and TV show about boys discovering their sexuality and their friendship groups and living. Okay, done. That is my slang. I hope that all made sense because I don't explain things very well, especially when like I know like what the words mean. I'm like, it's self-explanatory. I would be a terrible teacher. Comment down below one of your favorite ships, or if you just want to let me know you are here, leave me a, is there a cinnamon roll emoji? If there is, that. If not, just a heart emoji. Once again, thank you so much Galaxy Press for sponsoring this video, and everyone go check out the link to Writers of the Future volume 39 and maybe the other 38 volumes if you want to. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel and check out some other videos. You might like these ones over here.